good day to be indigenous.
Get up, stand up.
They are going to become more brutal.
Couldn't cut. He didn't cut again.
Because all the hippies were trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more repressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings at Wounded Knee.
I am awake.
Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. Hey, Kadagi, you are listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Pilot. Hey, we discuss national and Native news and events, and as you know, Chujunk, Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues.
Yes, you are right, Dega. This portion of the show is supported by the Met Council. They're asking for your help to shape the future of the Twin Cities. Join them this Wednesday at 5 p.m. for Image 2050, a regional planning event focused on improving housing, transportation, parks, and water resources. Share your ideas and help create a better future for the Twin Cities. Visit engage.metrocouncil.org to learn more.
Awesome. And I'll tell you, I don't really talk about this, and I probably should talk more about this, Haley, is that I'm on the Native American Met Council Community Board, and it's been very exciting last 6 months, a lot of interesting things, and to learn about the Metro Council is just amazing on all the things they do. I had no idea they had to do with parks, they had to do with sewage and all these things that we just take for granted. And there's one thing I learned before we get our guest on here, Haley, is that in 1928, there was only 3 fish in the Mississippi River. That's how polluted it was, from St. Paul to Minneapolis. And they said they picked out the 3rd fish and he died in their hands. So really there was 2. And that amazes me how much the river's been cleaned up. Even in my lifetime, I know when I was a teenager, we wouldn't swim across that because we were afraid to glow when we got out of the river.
Yeah, that's pretty scary.
It is.
I know our friend and our usual Thursday guest, Robert Lilligren of NACD, has been a Met Council member for a while here. And he is in Canada visiting with some of our relatives up there, but he shares this message that he wants us to know that he is working with the Met Council staff to make sure that the American Indian Advisory Council recommendations are being implemented. So we have a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, definitely. You know, if we're not at the table, we're being what's served. Isn't that how it goes?
Yeah, exactly.
Something like that. Hey, we got our friend and our guest here today, Derek DeLilly, Native American Community Development Institute's manager of Making Voting a Tradition, which I think make voting a tradition is such a cool tagline. Welcome, Derek.
Bonjour, Ndenwe Magani Dug. Hello, my relatives, my family. I'm very grateful to be here again today and be with you guys. It always makes my day. I'll introduce myself. Jawanung Banesi Indigo, Mushkazibing Indun Jabai, Dash Gakabe Kong Indanungom, Mayangun Indo Dame. It is so good to be with you. Southern Spirit Bird is what the spirits know me as. My people come from Bad River, but I live here in Minneapolis today, and I am part of the Wolf Clan. It's so good to be here again.
Oh, thank you, Derek. Pinagigi, for being here. We love having you on. And we got some fun stuff to talk about coming up here while Robert sneezes.
Good thing I have that sneeze button. Whoa. Woo. I think I'm allergic to good thoughts. Thank you, Derek. Oh, wow.
There's a good one for you, Robert. Gidajamagu. That means when you sneeze, we're saying, we don't say bless you. In Anishinaabe, we say someone's talking about you in a good way.
Oh, a good way. I need that with what's coming up here this weekend. We have General Council at Ho-Chunk Nation, and everyone put some tobacco out by the tree for me to make sure that I survive that. A big Pinagigi out there to all our listeners all over Turtle Island. Hey, Derek, talk about Make Voting a Tradition, about the organization and what you guys do, and let's get down and dirty and talk real.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to. I'm with NACD, Native American Community Development Institute. We're located right in the heart and soul of our American Indian Cultural Corridor. Such a beautiful thing to say. I'm the manager of Make Voting a Tradition and Civic Engagement. Those two words really got me into this position. I love those two words. That's what really sold me on this work. Of course, I did hold a different position with NACTI, and I knew about the family there. I really want to stress that word. We take that very seriously. We are a family there. Some of the things we're doing in my program specifically, when you talk about civic engagement, we want to strengthen that democratic participation, and we need to build the trust in our community. That's a big part of my job. It's actually 50% of my job is to be out there and to be seen and talk to the people. That is such a good way. It's our way. That's our cultural way to engage people. And in that way, we can define our future. We can build that ownership of solutions, and we can be a part of that systems change that my organization holds at the top of the order. So I'm very lucky to be there. We're a multi-generational program, culturally specific, so we do reach out to natives specifically, but that doesn't mean that we don't reach out to everyone else. Of course, we want everybody at the table. We want to be at all the tables. That's part of my job, is to speak about that. And I love how you brought that up right away, Robert. That's a big part of the job. I've been saying since first contact, we can see evidently that the forefathers that were in those forts, they went to work. They started visioning the future. And we get to see that in today's world. We see the buildings and the cars and the phones, and this was all in their vision. Our leaders had a much different vision for this earth. And so you can see evidently without data points that we weren't at these tables of major decision making. And I also say to build on that, if we do get to those tables and I say, Bonjour, my name's Derek, I'm Anishinaabe, and I sit down and I can be quiet. I don't have to say another word. All of a sudden, that whole energy of that space changes, and everybody's thoughts in that room change just because we're there. So I think it's super important for everybody to be involved with this work. Our civic engagement and all of our voter engagement. This work is precious. It's sacred. We can be a part of the change that we need to have happen.
Absolutely. And proof's in the pudding, too. The last cycle, I know your organization and a couple other organizations, I talk about this a lot, they signed up 9,000 new voters up in the up north in Red Lake and that area up there, and that made a difference in that cycle and that election. And that happens all over Turtle Island. We talk about Arizona making a difference. In Wisconsin, one of the things, Derek, we always are hearing now, because we have a lot of coverage in Wisconsin and guests from Wisconsin, is that in each area, if 3 people voted extra, that would have changed the whole election, and could change the whole election in a good way, too.
Yeah, I have to believe, I always talk about that word in particular. I have to believe that's a culturally specific way. That's our way. We've always believed in things that we saw precious and sacred. And I want to target those words, precious and sacred. This is how we can change what we live in. This is the world we're in. There's no other world we're going to be getting to. We're not going to Mars anytime soon. So let's make a change here. You know, we can make that change. I believe it.
Hey, we're here with Derek DeLille, Make Voting a Tradition, and Haley Cherry. We're going to be right back after this short break.
Unwanted sexting or photos, inappropriate jokes, even tickling or wrestling can feel like a violation. Catcalling, cornering, or groping, getting them drunk or high for sex, recording sexual acts without permission, hurting someone because of their sexual orientation, raping a family member, a child, a date, a friend, a stranger, purchasing a human being for sex. You make the choice every single time. Sexual violence is many things. Make a choice. Do not do it.
Sponsored by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
Housing, clean water, transportation, transit and parks. The Met Council is charged with planning for the Twin Cities metro region, and your help is needed. This Wednesday at 5 o'clock, the Met Council is asking you to share your ideas for the best future for the Twin Cities. It's called Imagine 2050, the latest regional planning guide, which will shape public policy and drive growth over the next 30 years. It focuses on improving the everyday essential services we provide, including transportation, housing, water resources, and parks and trails, with input directly from the 7 counties and the 181 cities and townships in the region. But you can't write a regional plan without talking to the people of the region. Stop by September 25th. Share your thoughts and your dreams for the Twin Cities. Let's imagine a better, brighter 2050 together. Visit engage.metrocouncil.org to learn more.
Some people won't give you the real talk on drugs, but it's time we know the facts. Fentanyl is killing people. It's a powerful opioid, often made illegally and commonly mixed with illicit drugs. It can even be pressed into counterfeit pills that resemble prescription medications. Just 2 milligrams, about the size of a few grains of sand, could potentially be lethal. This isn't an ad to scare you, but it is an ad to make you think twice. Get the facts. Go to realdealonfentanyl.com. This message is brought to you by the Ad Council.
Minnesota has the only original wolf population in the continental United States.
And 80% of Minnesotans believe the wolf should be protected.
Howling for Wolves is asking Minnesotans to respect our true wildlife manager, the wolf.
Their survival is critical to our ecosystems, our communities, and even our economy.
As highly intelligent animals with strong social bonds, Minnesota wolves deserve to be protected and admired.
Learn more at howlingforwolves.org. Let's live and let howl. Howl!
Hi, I'm Jane Fonda, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by NACD's Four Sisters Food Sovereignty Program. Join them for a Phillips Farms bike tour in South Minneapolis on September 28th from noon to 4 p.m. to learn about locally grown foods and share a meal. Learn more and sign up for this free event at nacd.org/events.
Hey, we're here with Derek DeLille, Native American Community Development Institute's manager of Make Voting a Tradition. And that's one thing that I really love the tagline because it says it all. But really, let's make voting a tradition. Our friend, it's funny, our friend Angie Vig of Vig Guitar says, if we don't have a seat at the table, we won't eat. And I like that one, too. Welcome back, Derek.
Thank you for having me back. I wanted to give a shout out for that howlingforwolves.org. What a commercial. I love it. I want to say, ow, to all my Wolf Clan members out there. Yes, log in there, get in there and support. That's beautiful work. Also, I did hear, of course, about the commercial of our bike tour coming up on the 27th. It's going to be amazing. I myself will be out there. The energy will be out there. So let's get out there, grab your bike and have a lot of fun. We can learn together. We can grow together. We can be together. And anyone can come. Please come be an ally. Come listen to us. Come talk with us. Come sit with us and eat with us. It's a beautiful way to be.
Yeah, it is. And I feel that way at the market. And, there's a lot of people that come in and out of there, people that are just visiting the corridor, the native corridor. It's crazy. Haley, do you have a bike?
I do have a bike.
Well, get a sidecar for Achoka here because he's got a bad knee.
Yeah, I think you guys are having Venture Bikes, which is a program that'll be out there, and they're going to help tune up anyone's bike or I think have a few extra ones for people.
Wow. I just love to hear about these things. being so supportive in our community. Again, we need as many allies as we can muster. This is a great way to be a good ally and a good relative. We accept all comings of people. We're very inviting, very gracious hosts like yourselves, Robert and Haley. This is our way. This is what we love to do, and we would love to see you out there on the 27th.
Right on. Hey, so one of the things that I think has really morphed in our way too is that being educated about what's going on around us. I know we have sovereign nations out there, and sometimes as Native people, we like to just stay within our people, but we're double citizens, and we really need to get involved. And I'm pleading with everyone to get involved when it comes to our political actions and things. Derek, it's so important.
Yeah, it really is. You have to stay in touch on so many levels. It really goes deep. So we want to be a part of that process. We want to assist you in that learning. That's the institute part of our NACTI family. We want to be able to get you the information that you are seeking. When we can be together and learn together, we are so much better together. There's so many levels to this work. We need to be at every space, in every place within the state and beyond when it comes to Turtle Island. It's that important. One thing, it strikes another DNA note. This strikes DNA level. We've always acknowledged everything from the rocks to space to the stars. We acknowledge everything, the air. We don't want to stop that way. That's our cultural way across Turtle Island. Let's be that. Let's live that and move that thinking forward. I think it's a good place to start and be genuine and love each other.
Yeah, definitely. We have to really take a step back, and I see so much negativity on social media and attacks on people that's just needless. You know, when you think about it, I joke around with Haley and my family, and my other family members too, is that, I might only have 10 more summers left, and I need to be good to people. I need to leave something for people. It's not about collecting things right now. It's about giving, and everyone needs to really take a step back and realize that we only have a short time here on this earth, and we need to do what you speak of, Derek. I really love having you on. You speak in a good way.
I appreciate that. This segues perfectly into the one thing that I wanted to talk about with all of our people in this voter engagement work and this civic engagement work. We know this is ramping up. We know this is very intense. The work is just, there's a lot. There's a billion things going on right now. And I wanted to reach out to every one of you that are involved in doing that work right now. Remember, when you get up and snapping to it, and you got to get to the emails, and you have to respond, and you got to make this meeting happen. Let's go. Remember, McQueen done. Remember, that's not our cultural way. Please take your time to center yourself, get yourself right, be at peace, be easy on the stress, be easy to yourself, and talk good to yourself. You're doing an amazing job. You're doing great work. Be good to yourself. In that way, we can be out here and feel free to do our awesome work, because we are doing amazing work out here.
Yeah, you are. Haley, having Derek on, we got to have Derek on more often here. I feel like I don't need to have my sage burning. Derek's our audio sage here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's always a pleasure to be around Derek and his space and his energy. And Yeah, I know the Four Sisters Farmers Market was going on. We've got that pickle contest coming up, which is something Robert and I always look forward to. How was the market today? I know it's kind of wrapping up towards October here.
Unfortunately, I was not on the scene. Our community, as many days you guys know, was kind of in response mode. So there was some movement within the encampments, and there was a call for people to be on the scene, so I had to be on the scene today. And that's another good thing to bring up is the fact that when we are in that crisis and response mode, we are doing really good work. And if we're in that mode doing that, it's taking away from all of the good work that we should be doing day to day. And I really want to note that. That's a tough place for us to be at. When you're in the heart and soul of that community, we must respond. We know that. And we responded in a very good way, as we always do. Our community members were out there with our hearts on full display, and we did our good work. And now maybe we can get back to the good work that we want to do.
Yeah, Derek, we only got a minute or so left in this segment, and I'm wondering if you could, we always like to have a call to action. I wonder if you can give out how people can get a hold of you or support you or anything like that in your last good words here. Yeah,
look us up on Facebook. Please make voting a tradition. Like and follow our page. We would so appreciate that. You can shoot me. You see my name here. You look me up on Facebook. Shoot me a request. We can talk. That way we can message back and forth. I do encourage that as a relative. I want to be that. I want to be that uncle. I want to be that big brother, or supportive person that some might need. Let's do that. We can always be in that good way and have that relationship, build that relationship. That's what we're all about, right?
Awesome. Yeah, definitely. Maybe you want to spell it out, because we are a radio show and we do StreamYard also, but we have more listeners on the radio. Spell it out for them, please.
Look me up, Darek. Last name's Delill, Delille. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. You can definitely reach out to me if you need some support, if you're looking for some information. Let's work. Let's do the good work that we can do.
Oh, big peeny Derek. Thank you so much. Let's do this again real soon. We appreciate you and the good audio sage that you are.
Yeah, I always appreciate you guys inviting, being such gracious host. I wanted to say one more word in Anishinaabe. Binjue Binagig, with the G on the end. That means everybody get out and vote.
Right on. Big peeny Derek. Wow. Hey, what do we got next, Haley? Thanks again, Derek.
Peeny
got Wendy Pilot.
Right on. This is Native Roots Radio, and we'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us. Oh, wow. Discover the emotional depth and vivid storytelling of Jay White's Arikara Proper at All My Relations Arts in Minneapolis. This solo exhibition celebrates Arikara culture through the lens of an urban Indian perspective. Experience themes of empowerment, depictions of Native women, stars, and star quilts within White's vibrant acrylic paintings. Arikara Proper is showing now through October 5th at All My Relations Arts in Minneapolis. Get inspired by Jay White's powerful storytelling on canvas. Details at allmyrelationsarts.org.
J&S Bean Factory is a Native-owned, community-supported, cozy, artsy coffee shop which offers roasted on-site beans, live music, and baked goods. Relax in the beautiful outside patio. City Pages writes, voted top 10 coffee shops. Tucked into a quiet corner of St. Paul's Highland Park neighborhood, this coffee shop roasts beans on-site from the best coffee-growing countries in the world. Located at 1518 Randolph Avenue, St. Paul. The good stuff.
Everyone likes a litter-free ride on Metro Transit buses and trains, so pitch in. Take pride in your ride and take your trash off with you when you get off at your stop. You'll find trash bins at every Metro station. Want to help clean up transit stops in your neighborhood? Join the hundreds who volunteer to adopt a stop and keep it picked up. Learn more at metrotransit.org/adopt-a-stop. That's metrotransit.org/adopt-a-stop.
Hey, it's Robert Pilot from Native Roots Radio here to tell you about the best window contractor in Minnesota, 952 Windows. Here's why I trust them in my home projects. 952 Windows is a part of Loyal Home, founded by former window light workers known for their ethics and quality. It's a top-notch remodeling company that's been flying under the radar for too long. They've even sold to competitors' employees who want top-tier quality for their homes. For the best in windows and doors, have 952 Windows take care of your next project. They offer the longest warranties and were rated Energy Star's most efficient in windows and doors. Believe me, I've known the owner for decades, so I can vouch for their excellence. They're not just about windows either. They're your go-to for roofing, siding, kitchens, bathrooms, and more. Plus, they've got you covered on Onyx bath and Rosebud cabinets. Trust me, you won't regret giving them a call at 952-WINDOWS or 952windows.com.
You're listening to AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota.
Hi, this is Frank Brown of Minuteman Press Uptown with a question for our listeners. How important are business values to you? When you need high-quality digital print, it matters who you work with. You see, Minuteman Uptown is unique. We're one of the only union print shops in Minnesota providing our team with living wages and benefits. We believe in second chances for justice-impacted individuals who want to contribute to the community, and we are active in local issues. We've been in the streets standing up for racial, social, and economic justice. At Minuteman Uptown, our mission is to connect all communities through technology-driven print solutions. An example of that mission is when I moved Minuteman Uptown to North Minneapolis. We're invested in this local community, and we help small businesses and local organizations throughout the Twin Cities reach their audiences. Reach out to Minuteman Uptown and partner with a printer that shares your values. Call us today at 612-870-0777 or visit us at mpuptown.com. That's mpuptown.com.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Evening showers and thunderstorms, some could be severe with an overnight low of 62. Then Friday, sunshine with a high of 82. Kathy Griffin's My Life on the PTSD List tour comes to the Pantages Theater in Minneapolis on October 11th. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com or listen to the Matt McNeil Show this week for your chance to win.
You're listening to Native Roots Radio. This is Spirit from Reservation Dogs. Get up and listen.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is brought to you by Howling for Wolves, protecting wolves for future generations.
How? Well, we're going to do that in segment 3 and 4. All right.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I'm all about it. Hey, I want to bring Wendy in on the show here. My awesome and beautiful wife, Wendy. Wendy's been an animal advocate for many, many years, and she's all in for Harris. So great to have you on. And let me just give you seeing that this is a longer segment, I'm just going to give you a little more props. You were original founder of Native Roots Radio, and then also we had a show called Pilot's Progressive Party, and you were the host of that.
Yeah, it was a lot. That was a lot of fun. I missed that show. Yeah.
Yeah, and what was the theme song to that?
It was by Pink.
Yeah. Let's get this party started.
Yes.
Pilot's Progressive Party.
Yes, let's get this party started. That's right, Robert.
Yeah, that was fun. We haven't done this and we haven't been on since, but it was really cool to see all the people at the debate.
Absolutely, yes.
All the people that listen to our show, we got a big hand, and that was really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was a watch party, and you know what? That was probably the first time I watched a debate with a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And it was really a lot of fun because of all the reactions and the clapping and the cheering. And when, someone wasn't saying things that made any sense, the laughter. So that was always, that's
my
great,
goodness.
right?
Yeah, it was cool. It was definitely cool, but we both kind of got into that point where it was like, this is so funny. And then it was like, oh my God, 60 million people believe this guy.
Is it that many?
I hope it's less now.
I hope it's less too. Yeah.
Well, he lost by 8 million votes the last election, and the previous one with Hillary lost by the popular vote of 3 million.
Mm-hmm.
So the curve is going in the right direction. Maybe we can make 10 or 12 million in the next election.
That would be awesome, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. I had to cough there for a second. I hope you didn't bleed over to the next mic.
Mm-hmm.
So it's great. Let's talk a little politics, and then next segment we can do some
whatever you want to do. That's fine. Listen, I have to really be careful with politics.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who I know who are, vote the other way. I don't really understand it. We've tried to have conversations about it, but it's hard and it's difficult. So we leave it off the table because I just say to myself, I care about these people and I love them more than I hate him. So that's how I have to keep that. I have to keep it separate. And I don't want somebody I don't even know or who doesn't even know me to ruin a relationship that I have with somebody. I mean, I'm not going to ruin a relationship over someone who doesn't even know who I am. I won't do that.
I think we've been talking about that way for almost 10 years now, because the first election was kind of mind-blowing, too, that people would follow a TV star that really didn't make money and called himself a billionaire, and it was down to his last $40 million, and started running for office and then bilking all these people that support him for whether it's court costs or just lavish gifts or, and he talks about, he's hardly had any money compared to what he has now, but the Russians have helped him over the years.
Sure.
Allegedly. Got to say that, right?
And a lot of the people who, I know who support him, I think that they're afraid of a lot of things. That's part of the campaign. Democrats are, for forward thinking and the future and a brighter, and then, the Republicans are fear based. They're afraid of this. They're afraid of that. They're afraid of this. And that's why they want to, vote for him. But during the first election in 2016, I was really surprised at the people who supported him, and they were people who I knew really well, and some even in my family. And I really was very surprised. Like I was like, wait a second.
Yeah.
Like I've known you my
or
whole
weren't we
life.
brought up by the same people?
Family, or it was just like I was really, really astonished and really surprised and taken back. But again, I'm not going to ruin relationships. These are people who I really care about. I've known them my whole life. I love them, and I love them more than I hate him. And
well, I think the first time around...
That's a lot.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
That's a lot.
No, I meant prior to that, you love them more than...
I love them more than I hate him, and that's a lot.
Yeah, I wanted you to say that again. That's awesome. Well, I think the 2016, Wendy, there were a lot of Bernie voters that went over to Trump because they wanted change and they were sick of the same old thing. We didn't realize change would be filling the pocketbooks of billionaires and himself and how much of a narcissist he really is. We weren't really paying attention to that.
Yeah, he is not for the greater good. He is for the good of himself and what's best for him and how he appears in public. His appearance and what people think of him is really, really very important to him. And it's...
Well, that's just, if we can talk a little bit, relive the insanity that we watched with our friends at AM 950 and just the buttons that she was able to push. And then he went totally into rally mode. He lost his mind and started talking about all these things. And one of the things that we've been talking about in Native Roots Radio here the last week or so, is that we can't pay attention to these things like people are eating cats and dogs, and then that whole community is getting bomb threats, schools are closing because of his rhetoric. But it's also taking our eyes and the media's eyes off really things like 2025 and the things that he's going to do
2025
he's going to do to us. I mean, all this nonsense, they're doubling down, and now JD Vance has said that they even eat people too. So just things like that. We got to keep the eye on the prize when it comes to what we're saying on the radio, when it comes to policy, not this weird stuff, and they have no policy.
Exactly. And wherever he goes, chaos follows. We just said that, like you said, Robert, when he was talking about, Springfield, Ohio, where the Haitians people, the people who are there as refugees are eating the cats and the dogs and the pets. The very next day, they had to have a police presence. There were bomb threats at schools because of what he says. So wherever he goes and what he says, it just causes problems. And he never came out and said, or maybe I missed it, he was sorry and he made a mistake, and that's not true. I don't believe that he did, but maybe he did.
There's three things about Trump. One of them, I've never seen him really smile or laugh. Two, he's never had a pet. And three, he's never said he's sorry about anything. Narcissists don't do that.
No, they don't.
They twist it around and say, she's the worst vice president ever.
And they believe him.
Right.
He is like their messiah, and they're his cult followers. Yeah. That's what that is. That's a cult. That's cult behavior and cult followers, and they are just afraid. Most of the people who I talk to, they're afraid of immigration. They believe that every person who comes over here illegally are rapists and drug dealers and terrorists. Are there? Yes, I'm sure that there's a very small percentage, but most of the people coming over here seeking refuge, just coming from a horrible place, and they're carrying their kids on their back. So,
well, and not only that, the whole Springfield thing is that those people have raised their economy in that area. A Republican mayor is telling them, please stop. But they are not illegal aliens. Those are refugees that are becoming citizen on a fast track to help that economy of Springfield. And so it's just crazy.
It is crazy. And I keep saying this. I say this every day. I can't wait till November 5th. I can't wait till November 5th. I can't wait till November 5th.
Yeah, well, you and I have a plan. We're going to be voting before that, and so we can help people get to the polls and talk about things. And it's exciting to vote the day of, but I'm going to try and do it ahead of time, which we've done before, to make sure there's no gaps and that I'm able to count the votes. Because there's, as you know, my other job, there's people that are getting hit with COVID again.
Yeah.
Like hard.
I know it is going around again. So there's always going to be blips. It's always going to be blips. We're going to, the fall will come. We'll all be inside again, but we're all inside too because it's so hot out. So everybody's inside, right? We're inside again in the air conditioning.
Well, not the young people.
But again, people are inside. It's like, oh my God, why is there a spike in COVID and it's the summer? Well, because it's been 89 degrees. It was 89 degrees today and people are inside keeping cool. So
just rewind for a second. Our tribal nations were so good at vaccinating people. It's the first round especially. Well, I have a general council happening in Wisconsin Dells this weekend on Saturday, and they're giving out free flu and COVID shots.
That's
which
great.
Is just awesome.
Yeah, I was just at my primary care doctor. It was about 2 weeks ago, and I did get my flu shot and pneumonia shot. So when you reach a certain age, you should get your pneumonia shot. But I did get my flu shot, which I've gotten every year for I don't know how many years, 30 years. I'm telling you, I've always gotten my flu shot. But the new COVID variant vaccine was not ready. So I will go back and get that. Absolutely.
I used to call
all about vaccines.
Pneumonia ammonia.
I think a lot of people did.
Yeah.
What was it?
Ammonia.
Ammonia?
Instead of
pneumonia. Ammonia.
Like that stuff that makes my hairs curl. Yeah, well, we got like 50 seconds, Wendy, and we're going to take a break here.
Well,
do you have any preview of, are we going to still talk politics, or do you have some fun facts?
No more politics. I'm done with politics.
Those memes are awesome.
We're going to talk about some animal facts that those things that say, I was today years old when I learned this. Well, I'm going to tell you a couple of things that I've learned that I didn't know.
Well, that'll mean that I was today, or at this point, year old to learn this. And we've learned so much over the years with your animal portion, sacred animal section here on Native Roots Radio. Hey, we'll be right back after this short break.
Stay with us.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
J&S Bean Factory is a Native-owned, community-supported, cozy, artsy coffee shop which offers roasted on-site beans, live music, and baked goods. Relax in the beautiful outside patio. City Pages writes, voted top 10 coffee shops. Tucked into a quiet corner of St. Paul's Highland Park neighborhood, this coffee shop roasts beans on-site from the best coffee-growing countries in the world. Located at 1518 Randolph Avenue, St. Paul. The good stuff.
Everyone likes a litter-free ride on Metro Transit buses and trains, so pitch in. Take pride in your ride and take your trash off with you when you get off at your stop. You'll find trash bins at every Metro station. Want to help clean up transit stops in your neighborhood? Join the hundreds who volunteer to adopt a stop and keep it picked up. Learn more at metrotransit.org/adopt-a-stop. That's metrotransit.org/adopt-a-stop.
Think your company's safe? Your staff is working from home, right? As I speak, cyber criminals are mounting attacks across the country. Remember, when we're weakest, cyber criminals attack. Hi, Mark Sommerfeld from Rymark. The Rymark team is guiding our clients through these difficult times. In fact, demand has been so high, we created an easy-to-follow guide. It's yours free. Download our 5 steps to securely work from home now at rymarkit.com or call 651-328-8900 for a no-cost how-to discussion.
I'm Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, and you are listening to Native Roots Radio.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is brought to you by
Peggy Flanagan.
What's the portion brought to you by?
Howling for Wolves, protecting wolves for future generations.
We had a little gap there, but we'll keep going because we're professionals.
That's it. We don't let anything hinder us.
Or upset us.
That's right.
Hey, I want to introduce my awesome, beautiful wife, Wendy. Wendy's been an animal advocate for many, many years, and she's a founder of Native Roots Radio, and we talk about animal issues. And you've been on a roll, Wendy. You're talking about memes and stuff.
Yeah,
it's been
I have.
cracking me up.
Yes. Hey, everybody. My name is Hana Jihihani. That means cares for them. I was given that name by my Dega Curtis. Curtis goes by Mashke Hanajinga, which means walks on white clouds. I'm a humane policy volunteer leader for the Humane Society of the United States, and I work on animal issues at the local and state level, and it's always my pleasure to do that. Okay, so I was today years old when I learned this. What? So there's a little video on social media, and this woman was recording her dog like every day in a different spot, laying in the house in the sun. So the sun would come in a window, and the dog was like right in the spot where the sun is. And the dog would move through the day as the sunlight changed in the window. So the dog was, moving around like it was a little Frenchie, a bulldog. Yeah, it was very cute. But you know how the sun comes in, it's just like one little spot. But the dog would go and find that one little spot and lay in the sun. And then I was curious, I was just curious about like why dogs would would do that. And I've just assumed that, you know, the sun is warm. It feels good, feels good on their body. It helps their muscles. And yes, all of that is true. But the other thing that's true is that, so both dogs and cats secrete oils into their fur that interact with sunlight to produce vitamin D, which they ingest when they lick it off their fur.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've seen Wanda go out in the sun, and we've had, like, Gracie, she always loved the sun. Well, the Chihuahuas did, too.
Yeah, they all did. And they would all find the spot in the sunshine. But I didn't realize that they get their vitamin D also, like we do, from the sun. That it, you know, it secretes the oils into their fur that interact with the sunlight to produce the vitamin D, which they lick off their fur. It's kind of like really scientific. So then I was like looking, and I was just reading around, and it said that, you know, most all dog foods that you buy are supplemented with vitamin D. And then I think that if you don't feed your dog like a commercial dog food that doesn't have supplements in it, you might want to get your dog checked to see if they need vitamin D, or let them go lay in the sun for a while.
Good point. Good
Right.
point. It's
I
something
know.
we learn all the time here.
I know.
Awesome.
It's true. So here's a little dog, and a dog is saying this.
Oh, is this a meme?
It's kind of a meme, yeah.
All right, here we go.
It's like
Here we
four dogs, and they're really old looking. But this is what they want you to know. They're saying, when I die, please don't say I'll never have another dog. Search for the ones who are abandoned and forgotten. Give them a second chance and let them take my place. Honor my life by saving another.
You've always said that about the our two Chihuahuas, or when you save one, or how does that go?
Yeah. Well, what I was going to say is that I don't know if Wanda would feel this way. I think she'd be like, no, I want to be the last dog that you ever love and you ever have. But I think we'll always have a dog, you know.
And a cat.
But I think it is good, you know, honor your dog's memory by saving another dog. You know,
Yeah.
I like that. I do like that. But here's a meme, and it's about this woman, and she wants to clip her dog's toenails.
Oh, my God.
Okay, you know how that can go, right?
Murder.
Right. So she says, I just want to cut your nails. What's the problem? You know, and the dog's like, no way. And she's like, well, then you'll have to go to the groomers. I hope you behave better for them. So there's the dog at the groomer, and the dog is just sitting there like perfectly fine. And the woman saying to the dog, which his name happens to be Marshall, she says to him, Marshall, you're such a good boy. And then the mom is there and picks him up and said, what was that all about? You know, you behaved so nice with the groomer. What about me? I wanted to cut your nails. And this is the dog's response. I prefer to deal with a licensed professional.
That's what we always had. We were always amazed how well Mickey didn't bite the doctor. Remember?
It's really something else. And I think it's stranger danger, which dogs do feel that way. You know, they're of course, they're going to behave better because they're afraid. They don't know what to expect. I mean, you know, I tried to give Wanda a little trim today, just like around her eyes, because she grows hair. She's a Shih Tzu, so she grows hair. She doesn't shed. And you know, she gets like looking like a monster, and you know, the hair goes all over her eyes and in her mouth, and you can't even see. She can't even see. So, but she hardly. It's really very hard for me to trim her.
Yeah.
It takes a long time. I have to talk to her, give her treats. I have to be really careful, you know, and she runs and she shakes and she pulls away. But when she gets her hair done professionally, she's a pretty good girl. And the groomer even sends me pictures that she's being a good girl. So,
right. Well, she was wild with Brenda. Remember when we took them down to Brenda?
Right.
She was a little rough with them, too.
Yeah. But anyway, so we have a call into the groomer. I'm waiting to hear back for an appointment from Wanda. She's looking she's looking a little bit shabby. Shaggy and shabby. So she needs one more cut for the fall, her fall cut. In the summer, we cut her really short. She looks really cute. But really,
we try to do it a couple times during the summer and a couple times during the winter, too.
We
because
do.
When we walk her in the winter, she becomes ice cubes underneath her stomach.
I know. I know.
Oh, white people problem.
I know. So here's a very cute little meme. It's a bunch of cats, and you know how cats like throw stuff off the counters and stuff. They knock stuff down. Anyway, I'll just say this really quickly. We had cats always. This is the first time Robert and I have not had a cat. But the cats, would jump up on the dining room table, and if there happened to be a pen or, an envelope or something, they would throw it on the floor at the dogs, which was pretty funny. But here's a bunch of cats, and they're at the bar, and they're all having a drink, and they're all knocking stuff over. And one cat is it's a male cat, and he's on the phone with his wife, and he says, I'm just with the guys knocking down a few drinks.
Oh, my goodness. That's not one of your best.
Oh, whatever.
Wait a minute. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Okay, so the fall is coming. It says here, what's hiding in your leaf litter? Toads, woolly bear caterpillars, queen bumblebees, lady beetles, Luna moth cocoons, great spangled caterpillars, box turtles, beetles, snails, spiders, and more. So create a wildlife leaf pile for the winter, and this will help pollinators and foraging birds and help, in the winter, so the birds can find, food and
so we should have
like
a leaf pile in the backyard.
We have a leaf pile all over. We have a leaf pile on the front and the back. But remember when you were trying to be really helpful and rake all those leaves, and I said, leave those leaves because there might be a lot of critters in there.
Yeah.
Last night when I came out and to look outside, there was a big possum in our backyard.
Oh, I wish you'd have took a picture.
I did take a picture.
Not that I wouldn't believe
I
you.
actually have a picture. I did take a picture. And then I'm always like, oh man, I should have threw out that broccoli for him.
What? Yeah, I was going to say, what is the possum eating?
Well, the possum is eating, I have seeds out there. So there's all different bird seeds out there. And then I buy, they're like freeze dried kind of some type of a worm that the birds eat, and it gives them a lot of protein. So I throw that out too. But yeah, I'll show you the picture. And then
the possum too.
Yeah,
hey, we only got 30 seconds left.
Here's the possum.
Oh, wow.
Yes, so that is the possum that was in our yard last night. And I have water out there for him too because it's been really hot. So
right on. Hey, thanks, Wendy. 2 segments with Wendy. It's always a privilege. Hey, we are still here. We are the 7th generation.
Free Leonard Peltier.
Now.